Are you like most busy people, stressed and inundated with health advice? This overwhelm is not helping your health. You see, one day I woke up in severe pain and I could not walk. I was dragging myself around the house in my office chair with wheels. I tried Tylenol, the pain didn't go away. I tried Motrin, the pain didn't go away either. I then remembered that an 80-year-old cardiologist had told me about turmeric. I rushed to the store and bought a turmeric supplement. After taking only one capsule, about 1 hour later, I was able to walk again, pain-free. This miraculous experience made me a firm believer in quality holistic remedies. I am Dr. Adeola, the body activator. That was me, a nurse, a pharmacist, and a public health professional. I didn't know that I was suffering from inflammation despite all my years of education. Now, I have been able to get to the root cause of my health challenges, and I feel great and full of energy. I don't want you to learn the hard way like I did. So, I created the Wellness Search podcast to share simple, actionable changes that you can make to activate your body to heal naturally today. Here, we will have conversations about food, fitness, mental health, and all that is in between. Now, let's get started. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wellness Search podcast. My name is Dr. Adeola, and I am a body activator. I teach employers and busy people how to implement simple lifestyle changes to heal the body naturally so that they have the time and the energy to do what they love. Alrighty, so today we're going to be talking about stress management and how stress is impacting your productivity, how stress is impacting your life, how stress is impacting your well-being. So let me just go back memory lane, right? I have 5 kids, and the last 2 of those kids are twins, right? And when I gave birth to those twins, I just had this sudden impulse to make a difference in the world. I don't know what was pushing me, but that's when I started my entrepreneurial journey or change management, wanting to make a change. So when you get all of this feelings like, okay, all right, I was breastfeeding these little babies, right? And at that time, I felt like, I moved to this neighborhood, and there are a lot of houses that are being built. It's a new community. There's trash everywhere. How about we start a monthly community cleanup? So guess what? I started that, right? And I got that going we did that for 5 years, right? But let me go back to the story, right? So at that point, when I just had this newborn babies, toddlers, I started that, right? In addition, I used to volunteer at my religious center, like volunteer buying pizza for the kids every week, buying juice, all of that. I was like they used to call me a manager kind of thing for the center because I used to be the one buying all the juices and the things they needed. But guess what all of that was doing to my body, right? The body is not a machine. The body started to break down, right? I used to notice that I used to have this brain fog, like, I can't think clearly. Even one day I went to the movie theater with my husband, right? And I just saw this guy with a backpack, and I was fixated on this guy's backpack. The guy was not doing anything weird, in all honesty. He was just being a young guy carrying a backpack. But I was fixated on that backpack. Like, what does he have in the backpack? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. And I was looking for what's the nearest exit? Let's leave this movie theater. I can be here. But thankfully, my husband is a healthcare professional, so he was able to calm me down, right? And so we didn't leave the movie theater. We still got to spend time together, and we got to see the movie and do stuff, right? But it got me thinking, what is going on in my life? What is going on with me? Why am I having this brain fog? Why is all of this not working? I just had babies. I'm not sleeping well. And then I figured out, oh my gosh, all of this is because of stress, right? So what is stress? Stress is your body's response to anything that requires attention or action. Stress is a leading cause of illness And it costs the United States about $300 billion every single year in lost productivity and medical care costs. Let me say that again. It costs the United States about $300 billion in lost productivity. So that means people not being able to achieve what they really want to achieve, and medical care costs. So I'd like you to just take a minute and think about this. Can you remember the last time when you went to bed without a care in the world and you woke up the next morning feeling energized and excited? When was the last time that happened for you? Do you feel that stressed is your new normal? If you do, you're not alone though. Modern day life, although it's quite exciting, it keeps you stressed and exhausted, right? If you're not stressed about all those deadlines at work, you may be stressed out about your finances, or even your relationships, say with your significant other, your child, your friend, or even just that damn traffic, right? Like you have to sit through this traffic. Oh my gosh, you're stressing me out. I could be doing other things, right? That could be stressing somebody out, right? So let's think about this. What does all of this stress, what does it do to your body? I like to approach it from a head to toe approach. Like let's think about it from the head, right? But before I even get to that, stress in general, when it's just short term, right? It's not a bad thing. But when it's long term, it's when it causes problems. So let me give you an example, right? About a few days ago, somebody reached out to me and said, would you like to be a speaker? We're looking for a speaker, but the event is today. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? So I was like, okay, you know what? It's not a problem. You know, I was told at 10 o'clock or something, and I got myself ready and I went to talk and I did the presentation by 5 p.m. So that was stress, right? Adrenaline got me through my presentation, got me through the day. That was a short-term stress. And it actually made me do a good job, right? So stress, when it's short-term, is actually good. It makes you achieve goals. But when that stress keeps going on and on and on, that is when it's a problem. So let's talk about it, right? The head, right? What does this long-term stress do to the body? It keeps you worried all the time. Makes you feel nervous. It's like your body just can't switch off. Like it's just going, ugh. And you need something to help you press the off button, right? It makes it difficult to concentrate. Eventually, long term, it can start leading to panic attacks. So remember my story, right? Being fixated on the poor guy. Yeah, he didn't do anything to me. He wasn't really suspicious to anybody else, but I was going through something, right? So long-term stress can cause anxiety, depression, migraines, tension headaches, trouble sleeping. And this one is near and dear to my heart, right? Like college kids, right? I feel that they are going through a lot of stress. They just have trouble shutting off, right? Because of stress. They want to be involved in everything and anything, and it's causing stress on their body. And can you then imagine what it's going to do to them in the long term? Or even right now, right? A lot of people are complaining about mental health issues, right? Let's check our stress. What is it doing to the body? Okay, so now let's think about the heart. What is long-term stress doing to the heart? It can cause high blood pressure. So remember the medical care costs I talked about? Well, yeah. Long-term stress, high blood pressure, right? It can increase the risk of a heart attack, right? It can cause heart problems and many more things to the heart, right? You hear about some CEOs that just drop dead while working out or something like that. So this is long-term stress. Stress can also reduce the ability of your body to fight an infection and also to recover from illnesses quickly when you do have an infection, right? So what does stress, long-term stress, do to the skin? Well, I love my skin and I love beautiful skin. I don't know about you, but skin, when it comes to stress, right? Stress can cause the skin to be more sensitive and oily, right? And long term, if nothing is done about that stress, it can start leading to skin and hair problems such as acne and hair loss and many more, right? So let's wonder, what's that stress doing to your skin? Do you want beautiful glowing skin? Check your stress. All right, so long-term stress can also cause stomach cramps and gut problems, right? For some people, long-term stress can cause like weight gain. Some, especially in the abdominal area, you may be like, oh, I'm doing everything, but I'm just not losing that weight. Check your stress. In some people, long-term stress can cause type 2 diabetes. And that's why I like to kind of focus on see how we can heal naturally by seeing how we can heal naturally and manage type 2 diabetes, or even possibly see how if we can reverse it, right? That's why I also work with people on that. Also, long-term stress can cause fertility problems for both men and women. I'd like you to sit with that for a minute, right? There's a lot of people are going through fertility issues. I'd like us to kind of sit back and think, what is my stress level and how can I manage it, right? So I'd like you to think about this. In the past week, did you have a misunderstanding with anyone? If you did, how did it make you feel? I know how I feel. So if I have a misunderstanding with my husband, right? It's like I have this load on my head. It's like it just feels so heavy. And I don't feel better until we resolve that misunderstanding, right? So what is your own stress? What are your misunderstandings with people? What are they doing to you? What is it doing to your body? What is it doing to your psyche, right? So that is a form of stress on its own, relationship stress, right? Just interacting with people. And I want you to know that you're not alone. Everybody is going through this. Everyone goes through stress. It's the way that you respond to the stress that makes a big difference to your overall well-being. It's how you react to the stress that makes you or breaks you. All right? So I'm going to share about 3 tips on how we can manage the stress, right? 1 is to become more aware. Become aware. What is causing the stress in your body? What is causing you to feel this way? Is it the traffic? Is it this person that you keep interacting with every day that just stresses you out? Is it work? Is it your finances? Once you figure out what it is, then you can deal with it, right? You can try to get to the root cause of the problem and then attack it from there, right? So I'd like you to let's see how we can flip the script, right? Don't think of stress as a threat. Think about it as a challenge. So remember, I was told that I should come and deliver a presentation at 10 o'clock. And the stress adrenaline got me through that day because I woke up feeling like, I'm tired. I don't want to do anything. But that stress, that short-term stress got me through delivering, I'll say, an awesome presentation, that I felt like people benefited from, right? So think about it as a challenge, right? Don't think about it as being overwhelming. Think about it as an opportunity for you to make a difference, right? Don't think about it as being pressure. Try to think about, I got this. I can manage this, right? Right? Don't focus on problems that are associated with stress. Rather, focus on the possibilities. So like I said, I just thought about it as, okay, this is a possibility for me to make an impact in some people's lives. And so, normally I would have said, no, you only give me less than a day. But I was like, okay, I'll do this. I got this, right? So don't fight stress. Embrace it and manage it. That's how you flip the script on stress. All right? And you start becoming a pro. All right. Another is mindfulness, right? The Mayo Clinic defines mindfulness as a type of meditation that involves being intensely aware of what you are sensing and feeling at every moment without interpretation or judgment. All right, so that's a little hard sometimes, right? Like when we're just sitting and just being by ourselves, we have so much going on and we are constantly interpreting them and judging them. But we practice. This can be achievable. So examples of mindfulness will be like just being aware of what's going on in your surroundings. So experiencing your environment with all of your 5 senses, right? Your touch, the sound, the sight, the smell, and the taste. So let's think about, say you want to have lunch, right? A bowl of spaghetti, right? Think about it like, so the food, the smell of the food, the sight of the food. Oh, it looks good. It smells so good. You touch it, right? You put the food in your mouth, you hear every chew, you listen to the sound of every chew in your mouth, you taste it, you savor it, you kind of savor and taste all the spices and ingredients that we used to make this food delicious. That just slowing down of your body, like we constantly rush, high intensity, just doing all of that just kind of slows your body down, and it just relaxes you. And that's one way to manage stress. Another tip is just being accepting who you are. That's another way of being mindful, right? Accepting who you are. Be kind to yourself, right? Be kind to you. Be kind to you. And treat yourself the way you would treat somebody very important. That's one way to be mindful. All right. So that's mindfulness, right? We talked about being aware, right, of what's causing the stress. We talked about mindfulness. And the third is deep breathing, right? I like this deep breathing technique. Deep breathing is a technique that you can use when anything upsetting happens to you before you react, right? So say somebody gets in your face, that's upsetting you, saying all sorts of words. Before you respond to them, practice deep breathing. It will make a big difference. So deep breathing can be used when you're stressed, or even for some people that have trouble sleeping, right? I like this deep breathing technique. It's the 4-7-8 breathing technique. And it was Dr. Andrew Weil that came up with this one. There's so many out there, but I especially like this one. The 4-7-8 breathing is a natural tranquilizer for the body, right? All right, so how do you do it? If you've never done it, or you're not used to deep breathing, getting all that good oxygen into your body, that's okay. In the beginning, you may feel a little giddy, but with practice, you will get better. So you want to sit down while doing this if this is new to you, or better yet, lie down. Put your hand on your belly, right? And when you're breathing, doing deep breathing, you feel in like you're filling a balloon. And then you breathe out with your mouth. You put your tongue to the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth, and you breathe out through pursed lips. So breathing out all that stress, right? You breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth through pursed lips. And you want to do this 4 breaths at a time. You don't want to do more than that because it just really calms the body down, right? And it just kind of resets things. And it's like a natural tranquilizer for the body. All right? So those are my tips. And you can do that about twice a day, right? So I'd like you to go with this. These are my parting words. Remember that these are stressful times, right? So please be kind to yourself and be kind to others. My name is Dr. Adeola. I am a body activator. I teach employers and busy people how to implement simple lifestyle changes to heal the body naturally so that they have the time and the energy to do what they love. Have a good week. Guess what? I have a free gift for you. Go to wellnesssurge.com and take the quiz there to find out if you possibly have high blood sugar. Or you can schedule a free call with me where I can share one thing that you can take action on to start feeling your best. If you've enjoyed the show, then follow us and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Information presented here is for educational purposes only, and it is not intended to diagnose or treat any disease. Please do not apply any of the information presented here without first speaking with your primary care provider. With best wishes to see you thrive. Have an awesome week.